Hey guys, I'm here with my review for Return of the Jedi. Woo! My favorite Star Wars movie. Yes! Okay, so here we go. And just spoiler alert and fair warning, this review is going to contain full spoilers, so if you have not seen this movie, get out of here. Okay, so Return of the Jedi is the third installment in the original Star Wars trilogy. It's the sixth movie in the storyline if you start with the prequels, but in any case, it starts off on Tatooine like the original Star Wars, and they're going to Jabba's palace to get Han back. And it starts out with 3PO and R2 going into Jabba's palace, and they give Jabba this message from Luke, and that says that, hey, these droids are for you now. And this is the first time where we get to see Jabba in his true form. You know, I mean, he's this big, ugly slob thing. He just eats all day and parties. He's all with 80s music and whatnot. But then next thing you know, this bounty hunter comes in with Chewbacca, and then while they're all sleeping, that bounty hunter goes over to Han, who's still on the wall, frozen in carbonite, and he just thaws him out. You're like, why did that person do that? That's weird. Oh, it's Leia! Now she is very clever, but then we have that famous scene where Jabba captures Leia and dresses her in slave Leia outfit. Oh yeah, baby. Sexy. Alright, and at this point, in walks Luke Skywalker. Luke is like a completely different person at this point. Whenever I think of Luke Skywalker, this is the Luke that I think of. Because at this point, he's a Jedi. You know, he has a cloak, so he kind of looks like the Emperor. And when he goes in there, he's like, I must speak with Jabba. But then eventually he gets dropped into the Rancor pit, and then he takes out that Rancor just like that. Well, of course, we have a little bit of a scene to show it, but, you know. And then after that, they get taken to the Sarlacc pit, which is weird because in the special edition, it now looks like one of those piranha plants from Mario Brothers. Yeah, weird. But then this is an awesome part right here because Luke is about to throw down. He gets his lightsaber, which is green. This is the first movie where we actually see a lightsaber that's green, and he just whips up that lightsaber and he just starts wailing away at all these guys. And then we get the phrase that Jeremy Jahns has used. Jeremy Jahns, by the way, he was my inspiration for YouTube. If you want to check out his YouTube channel, I'll put the link in the description below. But in any case, we get that expression that he has used called being Boba Fetted. And if you want to see what that means, check out his review of Return of the Jedi. You'll see what it is. Anyway, so Boba Fett dies in the dumbest way possible. Han Solo turns around and actually accidentally hits his jetpack. Boba Fett goes flying across the screen and lands into the Sarlacc pit. Boom, dead. Alright, and then after that, Luke goes back to Dagobah to finish his Jedi training from Yoda, but this is very sad. One of the saddest parts of Return of the Jedi, Yoda dies. And his dying words to Luke are, there is another Skywalker. There is another Skywalker. Yep, it's Princess Leia. Yeah, they're brother and sister. Alright, so after that, we learned that, well, not after that, but the rebels learned that the Empire is rebuilding the Death Star, but no matter because they're going to take that out. And in any case, they got to take out the shield generator that's protecting the Death Star, and it's done on the forest moon of Endor. And on Endor, we have the thing in Return of the Jedi I hate most. Okay, odds are any Star Wars fans who are watching this review, you know what this is. The Ewoks. I hate these guys. I seriously do. Reason why is because when the Emperor says an entire legion of my best troops is down on that moon, and the sticks and rocks get hit against Stormtrooper armor, that takes them out. Doesn't make sense. I would rather have Wookiees. I could probably buy that. But in any case, but before the whole battle thing, well, actually, the entire Endor thing isn't all stupid. You have a pretty cool speeder bike chase. That's awesome. But there's a scene on Endor, I would probably have to say it's my favorite scene on Endor. Hold on, let me just adjust my camera there. There we go. Anyway, Luke's talking to Leia, and he says, do you remember your mother, your real mother? And she goes, just a little bit. She died when I was very young. But then she knew that Luke was troubled. Sorry, guys. Anyway, something was troubling Luke, and then he tells her, Vader is here on this moon. As long as I stay, I'm endangering the Alliance. And this is where we can tell that Luke is actually a Jedi, because he knows that there is good in Vader. He says, there's good in him. I have felt it. I can save him. I can turn him back to the good side. Good thinking, Luke. And so when that happens, Luke turns himself over to the Empire and with Vader and such, and he gets taken up to the Death Star, and that's where we see the Emperor. And this is just one of those things where we can tell the Emperor is really messing with Luke. He's really taunting him. He's all, strike me down and your journey towards the dark side will be complete. Luke starts to do that. He just whips out his lightsaber, gets ready to kill the Emperor, but Vader blocks him. Now we have a fight. And you can tell this has got to be one of the best lightsaber duels in Star Wars history. Not the best, but one of the best. But we can see that you can see the conflict between Luke, Vader, and the Emperor. You can tell Luke's frustrated. He's like, I don't want to fight you, Father. And then that's when Vader's like, if you will not turn to the dark side, then perhaps she will. Of course, he was talking about Leia, because he knows Luke has a sister. Luke snaps. And it just comes at him like, never! And just goes wailing away on Vader, just like, and then he slices his hand off, and he's got him. Wow. Now that is some serious action there. I love you, Luke. Yeah, I say that in a cool way, because he's my favorite. And then the Emperor's like, give in to your hate. Take your father's place at my side. And Luke's like, I'll never turn to the dark side. You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me. And this is one thing that we've never seen in any Star Wars film. This is one thing that really kind of caught me off guard the first time I saw it. I mean, at this point, it's been lightsabers, force chokes, but we've never seen anybody throw lightning out of their hand. The Emperor does that. He's like, you will be destroyed. And he starts shooting lightning at Luke. I'm like, what? Come on, Luke. Why don't you just use your lightsaber and deflect it? They show that in the prequels, but again, we'll get to that. And you can tell Vader's conflicted about this, and he looks to the Emperor, back to Luke, and you're like, come on, Vader, just do it. And Vader just picks up the Emperor and just throws him over the precipice thing, and then but the Emperor blows up and dies, but that electricity is shorting out Vader's suit, and now Vader dies. And this is one thing where we can see that Vader actually cares. And Vader looks at Luke, he's like, help me take this mask off. And Luke knows that he'll die, but he does it, and because Vader tells him, he's like, let me look on you with my own eyes. And that's really touching. And Luke reveals Anakin Skywalker inside. And so after that, the rebels and Lando and all them, they blow up the Death Star, and the rebels have won. This is great. And then at the end, you know that song that they sing on Endor? You know, the yub nub, yub nub. Well, that's pretty cool. And I like that in the special edition they show like the rest of the planets celebrating that the Empire's destroyed. That was kind of cool. And then during this whole celebration, Luke goes over and he sees the spectral forms of Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and this other old guy comes down. And you're like, who is that? Like, oh my gosh, that's Darth Vader. It's awesome, dude. But that was one of the changes that I hated for the special edition, because they replaced that guy with Hayden Christensen. George Lucas's reason was because, well, that's how Vader was last time he was good. No, last time he was good was when he picked up the Emperor and killed him. But in the end, Return of the Jedi does have its flaws, but it is my favorite Star Wars movie, and I'm going to give it, using the Force, an A+. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed my reviews of the original Star Wars trilogy, and I will be reviewing the prequels very soon. And as always, thank you all for watching, and if you like this, like, comment, favorite, hit that subscribe button, and join the Jolinator Club. Chest bump.